Everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. It is April 27th. Which means it is the fourth Monday of the month Q&A. It also means we're just days away from Impact 2026. So we're excited to be on with you guys tonight. Thank you, Sam and Steve, as usual, for being on and answering everybody's questions tonight. For those of you guys that have been on before now, I also know that there are new people on here tonight. But those of you that have been on, you know the drill. Those of you that haven't, make sure that you put your questions in the Q&A, not in the chat. Go to the Q&A and be asking your questions there. That's where I'll be looking. Stay active in the chat though. I actually was talking to a friend that was hopping on today, and I said, hey, just so you know, the Q&A will be awesome and the chat is bonus because you guys all share testimonials in there and favorite combos and all kinds of fun stuff. So definitely let's keep that going, but make sure your questions come in the Q&A. All right. Are we ready, gentlemen?
Ready.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get started. First question that I have is, I noticed that Immune has calcium. What about vitamin E? I'm not supposed to have a lot of vitamin E.
Yeah, so Sam, if I may, I'll take it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so in the sunflower lecithin, there is vitamin E. There's about 1/10 of a milligram per capsule. So there are certain heart patients, heart medications, things where they wouldn't be taking vitamin E, but 1/10 of a milligram, I mean, check with your doctor if you're really worried about it, but it is a very negligible amount. And that's all that's in there. And again, it comes from the sunflower lecithin, not from the aloe vera AE. The aloe vera AE has 27 milligrams of calcium per serving, roughly, that is naturally found in the inner leaf gel. We don't add that. We don't add any specific vitamins and minerals. They're just components within the ingredients we use.
Awesome. Okay. Sam, did you want to add anything?
I was just going to say you eat more vitamin E than that in just about anything you eat if it's whole food.
That's great. Such great perspective to remember that, right? All right. So what is the best time of day to take the omegas 4? And is there any specific types of food they should be taken with to help them work better?
Well, we have 2 packets, in our
OptiPack.
OptiPack. Yeah, thank you. I just hit a blind spot. Our OptiPack, and so that's a morning and evening, and most of the nutrients that we have are just morning and evening, and it's just twice a day so that they're always in your system. And do you have anything more to add to that, Steve?
I do, because some people have to take the second packet at lunch, because for some people there has to be, I can't analyze it any more than saying it's probably the Elevate TP. They're very sensitive to that, and they say that the omegas keep them awake if they take them with dinner. So my recommendation is just take them with lunch if that's the case. There are people, though, that have better sleep quality when they take the omegas. So everybody's just a little bit different. As far as food that you take it with, other fats, meats and things like that, real good. If you're a vegetarian, it doesn't matter. And of course, because of our patented delivery system, we have something that is very unique. The cyclodextrin complexing of the oil increases the bioavailability anyway. So I don't know that it's super important what it is that you're eating it with. I know traditionally with fats, you combine them with other fats, but I think you're probably going to be okay with this either way. Sam, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. And that's why they do say take omega products with other fats, is because their bioavailability is so poor. And so they have detected an enhancement with that. But with ours, we put it in that cyclodextrin, so it becomes the carbohydrate, looking molecule in the gut, gets absorbed into the bloodstream. So we really don't worry about that.
Hey, Christy, did you start the recording?
I did. I think so.
Okay. Does it say up in your screen there that it's recording?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. Just checking.
There, you probably were getting concerned texts from a lot of people because I know everybody likes to check in and make sure we're recording. Well, I'm one of those people that gets a lot of energy from the omegas for sure. Omegas for sure. But I love how everybody's a little bit different. It doesn't bother me if I take it later at night. I just know that I have great energy throughout the day. So thank you, gentlemen. Although that was not my question, thank you for answering that question. Okay. So next question. Let's see. Besides checking with the doctor, ooh, that's an interesting way to start. Loaded question. I'm warning you. What recommendations, um, what recommendations would you give a person on warfarin what would they need to know? What symptoms could they need to watch for, and which products would they maybe not take or take less of?
You want to do that, Steve?
No, but I'll do it. So again, omegas, fish oil can thin the blood. We just talked about vitamin E. Definitely with omegas, that is something you have to watch for. Anytime you're on warfarin, Eliquis, any type of those blood thinners, Coumadin, you're going to have to make sure you're going to watch for bruising, a lot of bruising. It's very easy, a slight bump on the arm, not being on blood thinner, you're going to see issues, and you're going to bring those to your doctor's attention. There's going to be a list with that pharmaceutical of things that you have to watch for. But when it comes to the supplements, there are other supplements. It's not just the omegas in our line. If you take ginkgo biloba, for example, or aspirin or anything like that, there are things that do that. The Limitless, oddly enough, you shouldn't have to worry too much. If you're taking 2 a day, I would start to be concerned if you're taking 4, 6, 8 a day with the blood thinner. I would just watch out for that a little bit, because again, it's causing that vasodilation, and that thinner blood is just going to whisk through you pretty quickly, and it's just going to make getting a cut or a bruise even more not the bruising dangerous, but the cut more dangerous in that particular circumstance. That's my opinion.
Great. Okay, good job handling that question. Next one is, besides balance, helping with blood pressure, would you suggest something else, and what suggested amount would you recommend?
Well, I would suggest the OptiPack, because again, I mean, of course, Ace-Mannin, but Ace-Mannin is in the OptiPack and Core. I mean, again, you're trying to restore homeostasis to your organs, to your cells. And the best way to do that is nourish them appropriately, support your endocrine function, support your immune function, have a healthy gut, reduce the inflammatory responses that are caused because of leaky gut and all of that. And so I would take the Targeted Health Stack and heal your gut, support your cells, and take the product that best addresses your most significant need.
Targeted Health Stack for the win every single time. Steve, what would you add to that?
Yeah, I would add that Fix is a great product for that as well. The ashwagandha has been shown to cause people to lower their blood pressure a little bit, again, because it's reducing the feelings of stress. And if you're worried about your blood pressure, that actually can cause it to go up a few points just in itself. So the ashwagandha, the feelings of stress calming down a little bit, that should help with your body to be able to better regulate blood pressure.
Good. And I love that Targeted Health Stack isn't just our favorite, but it's also Chris Gregory's. He said it in the chat. He said that Targeted Health Stack is the best system available anywhere. Everybody should be using it. I agree, Chris. All right. Next one. And keep adding those questions to the Q&A, you guys. Don't put them in the chat, put them in the Q&A, but I am going to look there just for comments. Okay, next one. Why do we use wild yam instead of fenugreek in balance? I have no idea if I even pronounced that right, but I'm sure you'll correct me, Steve.
You pronounced it right. And Sam, you want me to take this?
Sure.
Yeah, so both are good sources of dioscine, but fenugreek has a little tougher time on the stomach. It's a rougher ingredient on the GI tract. If we were making a topical, I would still probably go with the wild yam. It's just got a longer history. The dioscine from the wild yam has a longer history than the fenugreek. The other thing that we always need to take into consideration when we're putting products together, and Sam and I are working on formulations, or with any outside person, Dr. Rodriguez, Dr. Hackman, anybody else that's contributing, we have to look at what is our minimum order quantity of a specific ingredient. You know, this company is a debt-free company, and we want to stay that way. So we don't want to commit to 5 years worth of X ingredient versus another ingredient that will do the same thing, if not just as good, maybe even a little better, if we only have to purchase a minimum quantity of 60 kilos. I mean, I'm getting into stuff that really has nothing to do with it has to do with the operations of Alivea, just so you have a better understanding as to sometimes those things factor into ingredient decisions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, you know, what we're always looking for is what is the active and is it standardized? And when we first formulated, this is years ago, a product with wild yam, there was no standardization. And so what we had to do is we had to measure each batch that came in and start blending them to get consistency. And so what you find with wild yam now, because it is the choice, when you look at bioidentical hormones, they primarily come from wild yam. And the reason, and a bioidentical hormone just means, like in the case of estrogen, it starts with a natural ingredient. So it starts with diethylgenin, and then they convert it into estrogen, instead of starting with a chemical and making estrogen. It sounds like it's a lot safer. Actually, it's the same thing. Estrogen is estrogen. And so when you put estrogen in your body, that's when you have to monitor how much is in there, because you can create atrophy within, you know, your body's ability to produce it if there's too much, and all kinds of issues. So what we find with wild yams, not only is it the source that pharmaceutical companies use to make bioidentical hormones, it's also the best source for standardized levels of diethylgenin. And so again, if we want to deliver the same results every time, then that's what you look for, is standardized level of your actives. And we haven't seen that with anything other than wild yam.
That's great. So this is a testimony and a question all combined. I love it. I have been eating these nutrients for over 2 years. At my yearly wellness check last week and my endocrinology appointment today, all of my labs are showing within normal range. Without changing my prescribed dosage and consistently taking the targeted health stack with balance, my TSH has lowered into a normal range. So it's just a praise report. Yay. Okay, so here comes the question. The only thing that I added this winter is the hot cocoa. Oh, Steve. Could that have impacted my TSH to get it into a better range?
Theoretically, sure. I mean, we do use a dimagnesium. No, I'm sorry, I use a magnesium glycinate in that one. And again, people reported better sleep, sounder sleep when they started drinking the cocoa. Sleep has a big impact on the endocrine system. So this person, I'm assuming it's a woman if they're measuring TSH, this lady is getting better results, quite possibly because she's getting better sleep as well. And the cocoa could help in that way. There are great polyphenols that are in that chocolate, in the cocoa that we use. And again, it's minimally processed. It is not some cheap cocoa. It's not Dutch cocoa. It's not heavily alkalized. It's actually a cocoa with very good polyphenols. I hate talking about it because it's going to get everybody worked up that hasn't ordered the cocoa because it's not available at this moment. But there are health benefits to the cocoa. It's a healthy, fun product at the same time.
So good. And yes, whenever it comes back, people want to stock up. I know I did personally myself. Um, Teresa Beeman actually said, she said, I actually started dreaming again as she was sleeping better and taking the cocoa as well too.
Was she dreaming that she was in a Willy Wonka movie? I'm just.
Marlene said, I love the cocoa because I sleep so much more soundly. Nancy said, I just had my second cocoa a little bit ago. I mean, people are rubbing it in. Cheryl, CrossFit Granny, so glad I have extra cocoa. Yeah, so there's a lot of great response, and sorry for those of you that don't have any, but make sure you order when it comes back out. Okay. So next question. And I love kind of this, I feel like the way you answered the last question and probably how you answer this question is for us to remember there's a lot of things that come into play as we're getting healthier. If someone wasn't in maybe the most healthiest condition when they started with Alivea, but then those external factors like sleeping better because they're feeling better or having more energy throughout the day, all of that impacts everything. So this question is, would the combination of the Balance and OptiPack and Core every day lower blood pressure to where someone might be having dizzy spells? So that would be answering the question of how a whole bunch of different things can contribute to one thing.
I don't see that happening by itself. If they were taking meds to lower the blood pressure, then I could see that possibly interacting. And of course, we want you to work with your doctor. And if your body starts to respond properly, and as Sam mentioned earlier, homeostasis starts to return to the body, then work with your doctor to lower those medications. And some people have been able to get off medications when they start working on their health, not just supplements, but better sleep, better exercise, drinking more water, drinking more fluids, because they love how they feel on our beverages. So all of that helps.
Yeah, people take drugs because they're prescribed to alter the physiology of either a biomarker or a disease process. So it's not going to the core of what the problem is. It's medicating the symptom. And so when you restore through good nutrition homeostasis, then your body responds. And if you're still taking a drug, then it will over-respond. And so that's what Steve was talking about. Make sure that when you start on these regimens, if you're on any kind of pharmaceutical, to manage the symptom of a chronic disorder of some sort, just monitor it, because your body will heal itself of anything if it's supported appropriately. And support is obviously our product. It's also good lifestyle choices, better sleep. So all those things factor in. But yeah, if you're on a medication, you start taking our products and you start adjusting your lifestyle, yeah, you got to watch the medication, because if you don't need it, then you're overcompensating for the problem.
Well, I know you've also both talked about before that obviously Ace Mannin makes everything work better. And so sometimes it's also making whatever medication somebody's on work more strongly or more effectively, and maybe that's happening as well too. Is that yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that. I mean, listen, there is, as far as I'm concerned, a drug is designed to alter a very specific function of physiology. In fact, to get a drug approved, it has to do that in 90% of the patients in the trial. So if it's lowering blood pressure or blood sugar levels or whatever you're doing, cholesterol, whatever the drug is. I don't know. I mean, we do know that Ace Mananotes has no negative interaction. We've never seen it with any drug, and we've been doing this for over 30 years. I don't know that it makes a drug necessarily work better. It makes your immune system work better, which then supports the entire recovery process. I'm not sure it has an effect on the drug.
I think that she meant the bioavailability of the drug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for polishing that up for me, Steve.
Well, I'm saying we've seen a lot of people have had their doctors titrate down their drug usage when taking Ace Manin, and it could be a bioavailability thing. That's all.
That's great. Okay, so here comes some good ones. So first one is, what is the best product or products to get the most potassium and magnesium for our bodies?
We haven't launched it yet.
That feels like a loaded question.
Go ahead, Steve.
No, I thought that was a perfect answer, Sam. You got it.
You'll find out a lot more this weekend about that.
Yes, very good, very good. Okay, next one. Someday will we have an immune product that contains all 8 sugars? Does Core currently have all 8 sugars? Wow, take this one away, guys.
Yeah, so the 8 sugars they're referring to are the 8 sugars that have been identified by science that our cells use to make glycoprotein structures. Like mannose is one of them, and xylose. So we have xylo-oligosaccharides. So the actual technical answer is we have all 8 or their precursors. And so what I mean by that, well, 3 of the sugars are inacetylated sugar structures. And your cells will actually do that inacetylation, like on galactosamine or glucosamine. And so you don't have to, in fact, the bonding, that inacetylated bond, can actually break down in the digestive tract or in the stomach acid. So yeah, the sugars are there, but not necessarily in their final form. Most of them are in their final form, but some of them, it's better to do their precursor structure than their final structure. But to answer your question, all of the sugars are there. They're just, and or their precursors. I think that answers
it. Immune alone has, the Elevate AE has 6 sugars in it. I've confirmed that with Dr. Rodriguez. Just that product. We're not even talking about Core. I'm talking about just the AE in small amounts. Mannose is, of course, the predominant one there. And so the added things that are in Core actually have the higher amounts of all those sugars that Sam's talking about.
That's great. All right. So we have a question here. Somebody had been on Optipac and started to have a rash around their midsection that this person, I guess they were like, this is good for me, I'm going to keep taking it. So it lasted actually for several months. And then they went off of Optipac and the rash went away. Any idea of where that rash might be coming from?
I mean, if it's gone on that long, chances of detox are not there. There's a possible allergy to one of the ingredients in probably Vitality at that point. And I mean, it is just food, but I'm allergic to bell peppers. It's a weird thing to be allergic to, but that there's a component in bell peppers that causes me to have hives. So, you know, different food sources, it may be something that is causing a rash. Normally we think it's a detox, but after several months, I'd be hard pressed to believe it is a detox.
Great.
Yeah, try the other products on their own without. I think that's a good guess, Steve, that it probably, because there's so many different food sources that are being used to make that product?
Very slim chance it could be the pine bark. But that's because that's another thing. People that can't have real Christmas trees in their home, or they can't touch the Christmas tree because they'll get a rash or their hand will get really itchy. Again, you're taking it internally. It is dried. It is not exactly a one-for-one thing. It could be the sap on the tree, etc., versus this. But there are different things. Sometimes, as Sam said, that's the best way to handle it. Take just the omegas. We have them freestanding. Take just the vitality, see if it comes back. The fact that it's not anaphylactic and nothing dangerous, you get to actually experiment and see what you can and cannot take.
That's great. Thank you. I just have to say this because it's funny. Raleigh put in the chat that he has plenty of extra cocoa that he'll sell for $500.
No, he's joking because we are not allowed to sell to other people's customers.
Yes, he is very much joking, especially because he said he would sell it for $500 an ounce.
First of all, second of all, Tracy's not going to let him sell that.
Yes. That's awesome. Love it. Okay, remember to keep putting those questions in the Q&A. I actually have a question that might be difficult for you guys to answer, but I'm going to ask it anyways. What are the two of you, or maybe some of the things the two of you are most excited about Impact?
Go ahead, Steve.
Without getting yourselves in trouble is what I'm saying.
No, you're walking on the edge there, lady. As far as me sharing what I'm excited about, I'm excited to see everybody. Listen, we're like a super cool club, clique. We're a bunch of science geeks that love helping people. We love helping the children. We love what we do with the mission of Alovea and making an impact in people's lives. And a lot of the people, we have a lot of great people that watch online, they watch the live stream, but the people that come there, they want to fellowship in person and spend time with like-minded people that just love the science, love what we do. And not everybody can make it. We understand that, but the people that do, we always try to have a really good time, lots of goodies to give out, lots of goodies to verbally give out and physically give out. And we're just going to have a great time. I'm looking forward to really the whole event, start to finish. It looks like we're going to have a little rain on Saturday, but guess what? It's indoors, and we're just walking across the street to Chicken and Pickle, also indoors. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm excited about is on Friday night, we're going to have an evening with Dr. Reg McDaniel. And I'm going to be interviewing him throughout that. And the reason I'm interviewing is Reg is an incredible storyteller. And if you get him focused on just the science and that's what he's doing, he could go on for days just with the science, obviously. But there's some stories that I know about Reg that aren't related necessarily to Ace Manning, that it's just going to be a fun thing. Reg is 89 years old. He pioneered this technology, and there's not going to be too many more evenings with Reg McDaniel. So I think it's a very special night. I know it's special for me and Steve because we've known him for so long, and we really, really love his heart for what he's contributed to our business, to everybody that's been involved with Ace Manning. But Reg is a character. Reg has got some stories. It's going to be a fun night.
I was standing in his office and I was getting ready to leave last time I was visiting with him, and he said, I was your age when we met. And I turned white as a sheet because I realized he's correct. I've known him that long, and he laughed. He got a good laugh out of it. And here's the thing. Here you have this man who received an award from his peers. He was the #1 pathologist, #1 doctor in the state of Texas. Oh no, in the Southwest. Excuse me. And he's so approachable. He's so knowledgeable. He's so smart on the science. but he'll talk to you about just about anything. You know, he still has his own little farm out there where he and his wife live, and you know, he goes out and lays in the grass looking up at the stars. He's a very unique individual, and knowing him is a privilege. Getting to hear from him in person is a privilege. Unfortunately, we can't live stream that part because we never know what's going to be said, and we're responsible for that as a company. But being there in person, everybody's phones will have to be off. We're going to get to hear directly from such a great pioneer and champion of Ace Manning.
So good.
I got to tell you, Dredge is just a little eccentric. I mean, he did grow up in a very small farming town in central Texas and near Waco. And so a country boy, you know, and what's that expression? You can take Reg out of the country, but you can't take the country out of Reg. So Man in Relief had an office at a facility that had a great big walkway over a lake. We were on one side of it, and in the lake were two swans. And the people that owned the building decided they were going to convert it into something else, take away the lake. So Reg went out and got those two swans and put them in his swimming pool at his house. It's like, something about that just did not even surprise me. It's like, well, of course he did. Oh, Reg.
And we're also going to do have Dr. Hurdy there, and Sam's going to interview her. And then Sam and I are going to do an unplugged segment, much like we do here. Just let it fly. You know, ask us what you want to ask us. There'll be other questions because, again, there are 2 product previews that are going to be at this event. Very excited about that and want everybody to take part in that. Tonight, let's just do a few more questions. If you've got your questions, get them in as soon as possible. We might not go the full hour tonight, as our Vice President of Marketing, Bill Kendall, really wants me to finish my slide presentations for this week and get them to him. So take it away, Christy.
All right, we do have another question. And that question is, I have a customer that titrated up when starting Targeted Health Stack, meaning she did core first, then core in one OptiPack, and then core in 2 OptiPack. She said she experienced some hair shedding recently. Could that be a coincidence? Personally, I hear more about hair growth testimonials.
Correct. There's nothing in there that would contribute to hair loss at all. As a matter of fact, specifically the collagen peptides, very important. We always generalize and say collagen. The collagen peptides we use, especially type 1 and type 3 that are in core, are responsible for helping hair grow. Hair shedding can be caused by viruses, things like that. During the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people lost hair. Typically it came back. The 3rd time I had COVID, I did not get it all back, but I also didn't lose any other than the time that I was sick. So there's nothing in any of those products that would contribute to hair loss.
That's good.
I have to say no comment.
I'm gonna leave it there too. So next question, is there anything that could help an enlarged spleen that is sluggish?
Immune. I mean, go ahead, Steve.
No, go ahead, Sam.
I was just going to say that, again, going back to the foundation of what does Ace Manning do, it supports your body's recovery, reestablishment of homeostasis. So if there's something wrong, like a sluggish spleen, the very first thing is that your immune system has to recognize what the issue is and deal with it. So really, it doesn't matter what the poor health condition is. I always start with immune for that very reason. You're turning on your immune system's response to whatever you're doing. Were you going to say something else, Steve?
Well, I was going to say balance would be good for helping with that as well, because it has been shown to help the organs, not just the pancreas, but the liver. And sometimes the spleen might need a little bit of a break, or the spleen may be overactive or something going on to compensate for something else. But typically that is regarding an infection of some sort. So I definitely am on immune.
Let me just kind of further that question then, just because I think this is the next question a lot of times people have. Obviously, taking budget into consideration, would targeted health stack with balance be their best option, or is this a case where having more immune and just doing immune and balance, or what would be an example there?
If it was my cousin or brother, I would recommend that they consume more immune, they support their body with more immune. Remember, our products do not treat, cure, or mitigate any disease. They simply support the body's normal physiology. So in the case of something like that, it's when you start working on taking more immune and work with your healthcare practitioner.
That's great. Another question, can someone with MCAS take immune?
Yes, but you're going to be watching for any activity increase that would be a result of the immune system overworking. Remember, it's an immunomodulator. There are some people that do run into problems because that balance has to happen, as far as it may turn things up for a moment or two, or down for a moment or two, depending on what the person is specifically dealing with. And that could cause a little bit of a reaction. It's just something you have to be aware can happen, but it's not going to be anything life-threatening in that case, because this is food. It's a functional food. That's what all of our supplements are. They're dietary supplements. They are functional foods or nutrients that should be found in our diets.
Sam, anything to add to that?
No, that was good.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think those are our questions for tonight. Everybody's getting ready for Impact, and I think they're warming up as we get ready all to head there. And I wanted to real quickly, there will be, I think, a few sessions that are live streamed, but like you said, Steve, and I think Sam maybe both said it, that there's a lot that we can't, specifically because they cannot be recorded. But Friday night, if you have, whether you live local to Texas or Grand Prairie is exactly where we are, or not, or DFW, the surrounding area, if you know anyone that lives in the area, Friday night, that night with Dr. Reg and the other exciting things we're going to be announcing that night, and testimonials and all kinds of great stuff, is free to guests. So that's the session that's free to guests. And so definitely be thinking about who you know in the surrounding area, or who you might know that has contacts in the area, because it will be a very, very special night with lots of excitement, and a great opportunity for a brand new person to see really who we are, who Elevate is, and the heart of the company and our mission as well too. So Sam and Steve, any closing thoughts before we hop off tonight?
See you guys this week.
Travel safe. God bless.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. Have a great night.